This cult resulted in the murder of 20 people. This is the story of the Church of the Lamb of God cult. Almadeir LeBaron Sr. was one of those who in 1924 moved his family, which included his 2 wives and 8 children, to northern Mexico. The family started a farm called Colonia LeBaron in Galeana, Chihuahua. When Alma died in 1951, he passed the leadership of the community on to his son Joel LeBaron. Joel later incorporated the community as the Church of the Firstborn in the fullness of times in Salt Lake City in 1963 as a haven for polygamous Mormons. The CFFT grew to over 200. Joel's younger brother, Orville LeBaron, was his second in command during the early years of the church's existence. Orville LeBaron ultimately had 13 wives, at least 25 children. Orville LeBaron was ejected from CFFT in 1970 and founded the Church of the Lamb of God, CLG. LeBaron immediately announced his leadership over all of the polygamous groups that had emerged from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. When members of rival polygamy groups failed to comply, LeBaron responded to non-compliance with a series of threats and murders. In 1972, Orville was suspected of killing his brother, Joel LeBaron. Orville was found guilty in Ensenada and sentenced to 12 years in prison. He served just 12 months before a Mexican appeals court overturned the conviction. Orville LeBaron ordered the killing of Verlin LeBaron, Joel's brother, to whom leadership of the Church of the Firstborn passed. In 1974, 2 people were killed and a dozen wounded in a Molotov cocktail and firearms attack. In 1976, presidential candidate Jimmy Carter received a threatening letter written by 2 of Orville's wives. In 1977, the leader of the Apostolic United Brethren, Roland Allred, was murdered by 2 of Orville's wives. Rena Chenoweth was tried and acquitted. In 1979, LeBaron was apprehended by Mexican police, extradited to the United States, convicted of ordering Allred's death, and in 1980, sentenced to life imprisonment. While in prison, LeBaron wrote the Book of the New Covenants, which included a commandment to kill disobedient church members. In the 1980s, at least 20 to 30 murders were attributed to LeBaron followers, including leaders and members of rival groups and members of the Church of the Lamb who attempted to leave the group. In 1981, LeBaron died in Utah State Prison. Aaron LeBaron assumed leadership after his father's death. In 1988, 3 members and 1 witness of the group were murdered as a blood atonement. In 1996, Aaron LeBaron was arrested in northern Mexico. In 1997, LeBaron was convicted of directing the 1988 murders and sentenced to 45 years in prison.